Hey guys, it's Amber and welcome to my December daily for day 7. You are not seeing things. I did intentionally skip day 6. I'm actually waiting for some product to come in from the mail from scrapbook.com, so I might have to skip that one for a while. So I was a little stuck on day 6. Let me jump to it here. So day 5 was this really fun, bright and colorful page. Day 7's really like a vast, bold difference. And so what I was trying to do was play with some Trader Joe's packaging, like I've seen several people do. So I was trying to stick with like this whimsical kind of pattern. I need some product to help finish that for my idea. Some Swiss dot vellum. And so I'm kind of just putting that one on pause for now until I can get that in the mail, because I thought I had at least one sheet left. Cannot find it anywhere. I scoured my scrapbook room. But anywho, so we're jumping ahead to day 7, which is one that I've had cooking for a while anyway, because I think I even shared a snippet of that in one of my other days. So I've got a lot of stuff planned for it. I'm pretty excited about it, because I was struggling with how to marry my Christmas card, which is black with holographic writing on it, because I have holographic stickers. You saw those on day 5. With anything in December daily. I'm struggling. And all the products I have that are decidedly the complete opposite of black with holographic foil. So I did kind of what I had done last year, which was some fun stamping on the envelopes with Tim Holtz stamps. So he has these like snarky cat stamps. They're funny as all get out. And this year I did one that says, "Dear Santa, I've been good this year, mostly, sometimes once, never mind." And then I added another one at the bottom that said, "Meowie Christmas," of the little guy in the stocking. So I have like some of my process top-down video, kind of like what you see here. I took a couple photos while I was working. So I've got those and a whole slew of supplies here that I pulled aside. And part of the reason why I couldn't just make this my day 6, 1, because of the coloring, but 2, this card from the Paisley Press kit that I wanted to use, the 6 doesn't fit in here, which is where I want to put my number. It's too fat. So the 5 fit perfectly around the delivered, and so will the 7, but the 6 is too big. It was too fat. So I had to pick a day where I could do something with this card and not leave it completely plain. So here's what I have planned. I've got one of the page protectors that's divided with 2 4x4 pockets and 2 4x6 pockets, partly so I could use these photos, use this card, and some other embellishments. I've got this transparency from the specialty paper pack. This is from one of the kits. I'm not sure which. I have not looked specifically, but it's got that matching gold foil and the pops of red, which you'll see why I chose that one. So I'm going to cut a square of this into a 4x4. I think, I have to remember, I think it's going to be this square, because you can see most of the words pretty well, like the Merry, the Twinkle, the Jingle. And it covers the Bah Humbug a little bit, but you can still see it. So I think I'm going to go with that square. And it's going to be see-through. The back will be silvery looking, but you know, there's not much I can do about that. And then because that's a see-through pocket, I picked out these 2 die cuts. This one's Christmas cards coming in the mail. So one will be on one side, and then this one's one of the square ones that says "Wishing you a Merry Christmas," which is kind of a Christmas card sentiment. I'm going to use a punch and crop it to the exact same size. So one will be on one side and one will be on the other. So I've got those. You can see they're a very vibrant red that match. That's why I picked this paper. So then I've got Holiday Cheer delivered. I've got my big, bold, black 7 sentiment. I think I'm going to layer this vellum piece here. It says, "Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year." Again, a very Christmassy sentiment. And I think I'm going to layer it kind of like this. I might pop it up. I might put it on paper and then pop it up on foam squares so that it can be layered over the 7. Or It might go on the outside of the page protector with some sticky tape. I haven't quite decided exactly how that's gonna go. But so we're gonna have transparency card. My big photo is gonna be on this side. This paper is gonna just be cut into a 4x4 square on this side. And then I have these fun paper poinsettias that I got at Hobby Lobby that are like this plaid design. I think I got them for like 50% off or something. They have these like beads in the middle that are really, really thick. And so I snipped them off and then used like pliers to like pull them out. Tried my best not to like pulverize the plaid because it's kind of a fabric-y. Actually, it is like a fabric paper. And then I put a gold brad star in the center, which makes them way more flat. I know you probably can't tell through the screen, but makes a huge, huge difference. So that might be on the outside. So this is what the front will potentially look like. Something like this. I think this one's going on the front. So we've got day 7 on the front. I think I've got this all worked out. And on the back side, this pocket will be taken up with that. And then on the back, I've picked up some products from an older kit. So this will be the transparency. This is old crepe paper. I actually have 2 versions of it. I think one was a 12 by 12 paper and one was like a 6x8, so the scale is smaller. So I have to decide which one I want to use, but I think I'm leaning towards the bigger scale. And that will have this, sorry, nope. That won't have anything on it yet. And then I picked out this, which is a Paisley press card from, gosh, maybe 2017, 2018, something like that. That was like redone when they did like the QVC release, I think. So that's gonna have my journaling on it. Then I'm gonna have my 4x4 card, or 4x4 photo, I mean, here. And then I think I might have been considering something like this, actually, maybe, because these are very similar in size, but this would still be a circle. I don't know. I got to figure all that out once I get it all organized. And then I'm thinking about doing sticker paper typed up here, but this will be difficult to figure out. So I might have to handwrite on here instead my journaling for making Christmas cards this year, because this will be hard to configure for this, because like I could easily just do a circle journaling, but it's an oval, so it might be harder to do than I had originally thought. And then through all of that pre-planning that I've been thinking about and stewing on for a few days, I see part of like, this is black, this paper has black in it, that will help pull in the card, which is black. And honestly, I think I'm just going to mount it to a piece of acetate. I think it might just get a staple here and a staple here, or a staple here and a staple here, I'm not sure. That way when you flip it, you can just see it from the other side. I don't really think there's any other way of doing it, unless I would have 2, and then I could put it on something patterned and have it be on the front and have the back be on the back. So I think that would be my only other option. But like, it's my first time I've actually ever done a horizontal card. Usually I do vertical, and this year's photo that I had of our family from our vacation had to kind of just be horizontal the way it was taken, and I thought with a 10x8 album it would look good. So I think it will look cute, but like putting it on something patterned, obviously you can't see the back. But if I had a second one, which I do have a few extras, like I could find a fun pattern and just do that so that there's one on the front and one in the back. So still considering that, but either way, it will just be like the second part of the day. So I really wanted to include all the other parts of the story. So I'm going to pop you on fast forward. I'm going to make those decisions on how exactly I wanted to deal with all the embellishments. I might dig through my stash and see if there's anything else I can find, because I was kind of playing with these three here, maybe leaving that a square instead of punching it out, letting that, you know, maybe be the opposite side. We'll see, because this is clearly gold tipped and it would be on silver, but I think it would look okay. I think the gold throughout the rest of everything else pulls it through. So I'm gonna get to cutting. I wanna make sure I'm sure on everything because I'm cutting into some really nice patterns, which I hate doing. So I want to be sure before I do so. But I think it's gonna be really fun and I'm excited. So let's see how it comes out. Okay guys, so I'm still just planning out the back side here. I'm thinking about using gold on the back and putting a piece of vellum in between to carry the gold through instead of just having like backwards silver, even though the silver kind of would help carry through this. I'm just still trying to decide because I'd be putting gold on it, which would I think actually make it stand out more. So I just kind of have it tucked on here for now and have that little random 4-inch piece. So I'm thinking that might be a change I make. I also flipped these so the journaling's up here and then the heavier, darker piece is on the bottom. Just kind of tuck that in there. So the vellum would kind of help hide all that. Sorry, I'm just trying, like I said, make sure I have everything like I want it before I keep cutting. So I have this piece down here. I need a 4th embellishment. And I didn't want them, part of the reason I didn't want, I'm just using this as an example, 2 things just side by side. But like, I don't really love having 2 things like right on top of each other either, especially if they're going to be a similar shape. But the way these are designed, that's kind of how that's going to work anyway. So I went through my stash and I found, I think I'm going to be using this die cut from the 2021 collection, but I also had these hearts and I really liked, I had the Mary heart, love it, thought it was cute, really loved the light gray, light green on there, and I really loved it on the lighter color paper, but I don't think I'm going to use the hearts. I'm gonna hold on to those. The Christmas obviously would look adorable. Just this why I hoard this paper and bought so much of it when I had it, because it goes with everything. But I'm gonna put this out of the way. I don't think I'm gonna go with that. I found this, which that says send joy, so I think I'm gonna cut that out. And I mean, it just makes sense. I'm just talking obviously about sending Christmas cards, so like all the sentiments that I'm picking out for this just kind of all make sense together. So I can maybe pop this up on some pop dots and make it have a little bit of dimension. I did consider cutting it out with like a little bit of a white edge, but decided just to go for cutting it straight out. So just about there. And I definitely think I decided I'm gonna have to handwrite the journaling, so I'm just thinking about what I need to say, since I don't think I'll be able to do that on the computer. If I had a digital version of the card, I would do it in a heartbeat, but I don't. I could always try to take a picture of it and upload that into Photoshop and get close. So that's a possibility that I'm considering. But if I do this, then this will definitely get punched out as round. Yeah, this is gonna be on the front. That'll be here. At least these will be different shapes. So that helps. And then this also kind of mimics, it's not the same color, but it mimics that color, and it actually matches the flowers in the background of the paper. So I felt like that really went well. And it's very small in scale, but on here it would get like lost and hidden. So that is where we're sticking with. I'm just gonna have to tuck this in here. We're making decisions, so we're almost at that point. So now I just need to figure out, I think these are 2-inch die cuts, but I guess I could measure the square, but yeah, it's a 2-inch die cut, so I need to grab my 2-inch punch. I could hold it up and do it manually, but I don't trust that it would come out that smoothly. So this can be risky too if you don't get it perfectly centered. I saw a trick the other day where Allie put something on a bigger piece of paper and then punch it out, which is smart. Usually I can get it pretty well centered, so. Let's see if I need to do that. Just trying to make sure that none of the straight edges are showing. It's always a gamble. I don't feel like you can ever get all 4 of them perfect. That looked pretty good. I don't even see where the 4th one went, but it must have been pretty well centered because all the corners popped off together. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that was pretty well centered because all those popped out. I think that sometimes it does, it like takes the coating off the paper, but cannot be too picky. So one thing I did want to note, which I forgot in the beginning, is that these are not exactly 4 and 6-inch pockets. They're like 4 1/8 and 6 1/8. So like with the cards, there's not much I can do, but the photos I did print a little bit larger so that I could try to help fill it out so they're not so loose because they just slide right out. So just heads up on that. And from now I'm just going to finish the rest of my construction, getting everything put together. This is going to go down here, which I think is going to look super cute. And I'm excited to just get how this is coming around and get it finished. Okay, so just the last few embellishing steps here. I'm just getting the circle die cuts added to the transparency. I didn't really trust rolling adhesive, so I just used a little bit of double-sided sticky tape. Got that all trimmed out with the vellum, and didn't even need to adhere these back to back. It's pretty thick, and they'll just stick down inside the pocket, no problem. So got those tucked in there. And then I'm going to use red line tape. I could have used the brad and poked it through the page protector, but I felt it'd be more secure with like 2 1/2-inch pieces of red line tape secured to the outside. And then I didn't have to worry about trying to position the brad in the exact spot and reaching in there with my hands and potentially stretching out the pocket. I just figured that was a simpler option. And then here I took the vellum word phrase and added some 1/4-inch adhesive to the back, and then I'm adding it to some white cardstock, and I'm going to trim it out so that I can then add it to some foam tape. I have 1/8-inch strips that I got from scrapbook.com, and then I can use those to wrap around the felt 7. So both the 7 and the vellum strip are going to be on the outside of the page protector so that the pocket doesn't buckle, but the card will be on the inside. So just working my way on that, around that. So I'm going to use red line tape for the felt number 7, which you'll see me use. And then here I'm just trying to trim down the pieces so that they'll fit. And I was pretty happy with how that came about. I just needed that cardstock to help stiffen it and get that working. So hopefully that stays on and doesn't have any issues. It seems to be pretty supported where the felt is, so I don't think it should collapse or anything. Despite the difference in height, I think it should be okay. But I really wanted to layer it, and I didn't want it to go underneath or anything. but those strips are really handy. So here you can see I'm just using a combination of 1/2 and 1/4 inch to really make sure that that thing is secure, because red line adhesive is super strong, but it can peel right off of page protectors if you've ever tried. So I actually went to stick this down and it was a little bit crooked, so I went to peel it back up and then put it right back down again and just burnished it to make sure it was really well adhered. So I'm going to leave you with a live look in just a few moments, but I'm really happy with overall how this came out, and glad I was able to get a lot of embellishments used and finally cut into some of that fun specialty paper, which, you know, you have to really be sure to be sure. Okay guys, we are all done with this layout. Pretty happy with it. So got all of our embellishments on like I had planned. Ended up adding the little sticker from my Holiday Elves stamps. They're so darn cute this year. Had to get them. Got the journaling added on with my handwriting. And then I ended up going with a patterned transparency. This thing is so old, I could not tell you who it's from, but I really liked the black. I swear I put this on a grid and it looks like it's crooked, but it's supposed to be straight. I don't know if it's like tilted down a little bit or not, but I swear it's straight. So yeah, I ended up putting it on there instead of using staples because of the very slate pattern. I've used 2 and put another one on the back, and I feel like that was a good way to add a little bit of whimsy and take advantage of the fact that it has that black design and it's really nice, simple, clean. So pretty happy with how it came out, and I'm excited to keep moving on to day 8. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you were inspired, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.